Hello, beautiful people. Y'all see the title? It's time to talk about the second half of the final season of Attack on Titan. Let's just get started. Episode 9. Armin is talking to Annie and the Crystal, and we go into a flashback 3 years ago. Here comes Eren in Titan 4 bringing the Marley ship to Paradise Island. Here comes the traitor Yelena. She shot one of her guys without hesitating. She actually wants to take up Haji's offer and have some tea. I was all kinds of shocked, and so were the scouts and Levi and Haji. Yelena is giving them all kinds of info about Marley and weapons. Haji was in awe, and when she's confused about the aerial warfare, Levi says, keep it together, or they'll think we're weak. More like they'll think they're stupid. When we learn that Yelena is a follower of Zeke Yeager, plus we learn that all we need in order to save all Eldians is the founding Titan and royal blood. All of the dots start connecting when we get a flashback to season 2. Eren is explaining how he was able to use the founding Titan's power. Once when he punched Dina Fritz and his dad's first wife and Zeke's mom. Skip to this great moment. Sasha asks, why is your skin so dark, oh no, Capone? And he says, because our creator thought that things would be more interesting if the world were occupied by many kinds of people. I say that applies to you subjects of Ymir as well. We exist because we are wanted. And then Armin asks, who said that? By the ones who gave power to you, Onyo says. It was God. Well, that's what some people believe. We're all free to think as we like, right? Anyway, love that whole scene. And he is played by Zito Robinson himself. Go check out my Voice Artist Appreciation video on him. Moving on. Anyway, basically the first half of this episode was Armin trying to see if they made the right decision. After the break, we are at a cemetery, and a few of the scouts are visiting Sasha's grave. Niccolo and the Marley chef was at the grave as well. He only interacted with Sasha a few times when he cooked for her and the other scouts, but she clearly made an impact on him just look how affected he is by Sasha's death. It's always great to hear Billy Cabot's voice, who plays Niccolo. Anyway, then Sasha's family shows up, and Niccolo offers to give them a meal, and they accept. Next, we have Marley and volunteers being surrounded after they've given them all of the Titan spinal fluid they could get. Even though they were surrounded with guns pointing at them, Yelena didn't blink an eye. This could have been a clue, or should have been a clue, so that she knew what was really going on and what was going to happen soon. Episode 10. We start this episode with Eren looking at the bear and saying, so fight, just fight. Then it comes Haji being Haji, basically mocking Eren and asking him a bunch of questions. Then Eren comes out and asks, what are you trying to do? Haji just wanted to talk and see what Eren's head is at. She wanted to have faith that he would never sacrifice Queen Historia. After the opening, we're in another flashback. This is where we see Mikasa share the mark of a certain family crest. She's only shown this to Eren when they were kids. Oh, little secret between them. Anyway, they hid this very well because I never seen this mark, never even knew about her little armband. I don't know. Then we have a nice interaction between Historia and Mikasa. After Eren says that Historia's in a good mood, she says, of course I am. Seems our ancestors were friends. They've left us both with heavy burdens to bear. She could have asked for a better match than Mikasa. Back to the present. Haji is questioning Eren's motives and why he acted on his own. Reminder that he had held himself hostage so they could get the scouts to come and fight with them, even though it sacrificed a lot of lives. So Haji is questioning his motives, and then Eren does a quick reality check and says, I ate the Warhammer Titan. It can materialize weapons out of thin air. He can leave his cell anytime he wants. And since he's the founding Titan, you can't kill him or threaten to kill Zeke. I mean, his time is almost up anyway. So he starts walking up to Hanji and asks, is there anything you actually can do? He's grabbing Hanji by the collar and starting to spark his Titan powers. Then Hanji's response was, hands off, you pervert! Ever the rebellious teen, huh? Grow up, idiot! Then she asked Urban and Heaven, why did you ever think I could replace you or be commander? She's really started to doubt herself. And apparently, Eren volunteered the scouts to work on some kind of railroad. A nice funny moment from Levi. You brats got taller. It's like you you're sprouting up just to spite me. They're talking about how they have no choice but to use the Titan rumbling and sacrifice Astoria. All they want is peace, and for the world to not look at them as devils. Is that too much to ask? Then Eren brings up the fact who's gonna inherit his Titan. So just about everybody explains why they should get it, and others explain why it's a bad idea. Mikasa, she can't get it because she's got Ackerman blood. We don't know what that could do. Mixing a Titan's power and that could be bad. Jean says he's a smart one and isn't a suicidal maniac. It should be him. But Scotty counters that by saying they can't afford to lose someone so reliable after 13 years. But then here's Kai and Sasha calling each other too stupid while being so serious. Like, you're too stupid or you're an idiot. What? And Eren says everybody is important to him, so he doesn't want to pass it on to any of them. He wants everyone to live long lives. Then everybody is blushing and embarrassed. Armin's trying to blame the sunset. Nah, it's just y'all are embarrassed. Y'all love each other. Blushing Eren with long hair is adorable. Alright, back to the present. Everybody wants to know where the Eren they trained with has gone. Mikasa is still trying to justify Eren's actions. But so Kai decides to tell her what his reaction to Sasha's death was. She could have said something here. Don't know why she did it. Oh, let's see. Alright, then we get a shot of Levi, his bed, and Zeke, and this Marlene wine. Looking back, should have known there was something up with that wine, because they kept bringing it up. Episode 11. Gabi and Falco have escaped their cell by Gabi splattering a guard's brains with a brick. Gabi has gone crazy. She doesn't trust no one. She needs answers on why Zeke betrayed them and Marley. Excuse me. And look where they end up, in Sasha's family home. That's messed up. Then we have citizens all over Hanji about why Eren is locked up. He's a hero in their eyes. Then Flock and 3 recruits were the ones who spilled the beans about Eren. Apparently one of the recruits, Luis, who was saved by Mikasa back in season 1. She says that she realized you can't protect people without power. She's always wanted to get closer to her ever since, and for some reason Mikasa has a flashback when she and Eren killed those kidnappers, but in this flashback, Eren seemed like a serial killer. Moving on. This is the only time I actually like Gabi. She's not used to working with the stables and a horse. It bites her head off, or slips in the mud, and a bucket lands on her head. Falco is all like, Gabi! Gabi thinks it's the devil's doing, and Falco is up. No, I think that's the horse is working alone. Anyway, keep it moving. Kaya figures out that Falco and Gabi are Marleys on the run. Gabi's first instinct is to kill her with a pitchfork. Crazy. Then Kaya takes them on a little tour where she used to live and how her mom died. She's curious to know why her mom had to die. Gabi keeps mentioning stuff about ancestors and what happened thousands and hundreds of years ago. Doesn't matter. We're in the present. And then a mini clip after the ending song. The Marleyans figure out Zeke is a traitor. And Rhina says that they shouldn't wait 6 months. They should just go ahead and do an attack immediately. Episode 12. Armin is interacting with Annie again, and Hitch appears. I love her with this straight hair. We learn that Yelena is talking to Aaron behind the military's back. All of a sudden, the Premier's office explodes. Mikasa reacted right before it went up in smokes. Must be the Ackerman blood. Then this big crowd on the other side of the gate are chanting our hearts and souls to the cause. Or let me say, our hearts and souls to the cause. That's how they say it. That creepy torture chair of his had a bomb in it. During all this, Aaron has escaped and the Jaegerists were bored. This is the part I remember from the trailer. He stopped us and putting on a jacket, and now this is my screensaver. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Anyway, at the end we see that Peak has made it onto Paradis Island. Episode 13. In the beginning of this episode, we learned exactly how Connie's village had ended up with a bunch of Titans. They used a gas weapon that immobilized the villagers. All Zeke had to do was yell, and they turned into pure Titans. Anyway, we finally get to see Niccolo give Sasha's family a meal they will never forget, including Falco and Gabi, so they could meet this Marleyan prisoner. Falco saying, "Delicious! I have never had a meal this good in my whole life." Reminded me of Hinata from Haikyuu, because they're both played by Bryson Bongas. Anyway, the scouts come unannounced and want to talk to Niccolo. When John jokes about drinking their wine, Niccolo starts acting weird real quick, because he knows that wine is tainted. Skip to Niccolo finding out who killed Sasha. Gabi was so proud and bragging while Falco was smart, and he knew something was wrong. Let's see. Gabi's stupidity got Falco hit back in the head with a wine bottle. Then we have Niccolo wants revenge. The rest of Sasha's family were pretty calm, but were still shocked to learn how she died. But Kaya definitely hates Gabi now. She was not happy. It's pretty much confirmed that Zeke's spinal fluid is in the wine. We know that. Gabi, Mikasa, and Armin are alone. Gabi wonders why they won't kill her. And Armin is tired of all the killing. All this talk about killing reminds him of a certain someone. And then here comes that certain someone walks in. Aaron comes in with his head bleeding as a warning, because he could transfer anytime. The Jaegerists are here. Flock apparently knew that the wine was tainted, and it was given to the MPs. Episode 14. This episode's title, Savagery. And boy, this conversation among Aaron and Armin and Mikasa gets heated. It's intense. Aaron starts speaking a few facts and stuff that makes you wonder. He asks Armin what drove him to start visiting Annie. He says it's Berthold's influence. He's the one who had feelings for her, because I don't remember any interactions between Armin and Annie that had any hint of romance. I only saw how they respected each other. Then he returns to Mikasa and says, "You're being controlled too." It's that Ackerman blood. The Ackerman clan were basically created to protect Eldian's king. Her instincts were dormant until Aaron ordered her to fight in that life or death situation when they were kids. Apparently her blood mistook Aaron for the host who's supposed to protect Aaron. Aaron hates anyone who isn't free, and he says, "Believe me when I say this, Mikasa. Ever since I was a kid, I've hated you." Boy, that cuts deep. As soon as Armin, as soon as he says that, it hits the Armin beat down. This unfortunately proves Aaron was saying what was true. It was true. They never fought before because it wouldn't be a fair fight. He only got one hit, and that's it. Aaron said himself they never fought before, because I just said that. Alright. Moving on. We're in the forest. Zeke is running away. After he screams, "It's raining!" Titans like in the first episode of this season, but this was more brutal since they were showing a clip of how his comrades were begging him to take the wine on their mission. Zeke is getting away with the three stooges of Titans because they were real stupid looking. Unfortunately for him, Levi came back furious. Matthew Mercer, who plays Levi, says a great line, or a series of lines. He says, "What gave you the idea that you could escape from me? If you really thought I'd hesitate to kill my comrades once you turned them, then you have no idea how many friends I've had to kill." Ooh, good job, Matthew Mercer. Then we get to the new cadets. One no name is already saying that Aaron Yeager should leave the Eldians. Then comes the Yeagerists. Flock is giving a big speech to recruit some young people. Some of them step up. But Flock wants them to prove their allegiance by beating up Keith. Now, I remember how he was in season 1, but to see him end up like this, ooh, it's just sad. Even though he don't look old, he is definitely in at least his 50s. You never want an old man getting beat up. Alright, then we see Zeke is in bad shape. He looks like some kind of meat with all these red markings. He has a thunder spirit in his gut, so one wrong move and it explodes. Episode 15. This episode's all about Zeke's past. I like this episode because I get to see how and why he ended up turning his parents in, the authorities. For one thing, his parents barely treated him like their child. He had no childhood. Plus, he didn't want to get sent to Paradise Island. He got the idea to report them from Mr. Sava, and he started wearing glasses to be just like that guy because he called him father. Then we have some good old half-brother bonding between Aaron and Zeke. Aaron says this world has never our birthright. It's a hell to be saved from. For the first time, he called Zeke brother, and Zeke says, we're back to present. "Mr. Sava, I hope you're watching." Oh, as he goes crazy, he lets the thunder spirit explode anyway. And episode 16. We know Zeke isn't dead yet because one of his loyal Titan buddies came crawling to him and opened his stomach up and put Zeke's half body in there for safekeeping. Gross. Anyway, after the opening, we see a sit down between Yelena and Commander Pixis. A bunch of other people are present, but we're not focused on them. Pixis is a very focused and wise this season. He's played by R. Bruce Elliott. He's figured out the meaning of the color armbands everybody's wearing. White means you've decided early on that you are going to betray the people. I'm just getting everywhere. Red means they were forced to switch sides. Black means they were unaware they were drinking the tainted wine. Alright. Then we see that the scouts are doing. Right now they're in a cell. John is asking how Armin got beat up by Aaron, or more like why that happened. And Armin says it's because Aaron was hurting Mikasa with his words. Uh-oh, y'all know how John feels about Mikasa. It all started with how he saw how beautiful her black hair was. And quick side note, since I didn't talk about this in the last video, do y'all like Mikasa's new look? Because I frankly do not. She looks like a Korean boy band member. Anyway, tell you how y'all think in the comments. Alright. Anyway, back to the show. Connie's all like, Aaron's a piece of poo. He's lost his mind so completely that he was willing to hurt the people he used to care about the most. But Jean says, assuming that he hasn't just lost it, I don't see him doing that without having some kind of reason. He thinks there's a reason for all his madness. Give it up to Jean for having some faith in Aaron. Fast forward a little bit, we have Yelena shooting Grice in the side of the head. Granted, he was talking trash and he was disrespecting Sasha, but dang. Didn't see that coming. Yelena says the goal, it is to sever the chains of hate from this world, to save both Eldia and Marley. Moving on. Gabi's still wondering why they haven't killed yet. They're all Eldia devils. Then here comes Aaron. She doesn't get a name. He just says, Brad who killed Sasha. In my eyes, that shows that Sasha's death did affect him. He doesn't want any more mistakes or slip-ups to occur. Then we have Pete busted in. Let's appreciate how calm and he isn't worried at all with a gun pointed at his head. Now Pete, when she was surrendering her, putting her hands up, whatever, did you think she was really giving up? Because I did, especially when she was talking about her dad and how they're subjects of a mirror before Marley is at first. But when I watched it a second time, there were hints that she was never going to be betraying Marley. Alright, let's skip to the end. Aaron has to transform since the Marley has lured him into a trap. Porco bit one of his legs up and it'll grow back. Aaron has the last words, bring it on, and Rhina. So, the second part of this final season isn't coming until winter 2022. So, that's going to be a long time. Not until next year. Hopefully in January at the very earliest. I'm sure we'll see another showdown between Ryder and Aaron. We'll figure out who's the father of Historia's child. I actually know who it is by watching a person's video discussing a certain manga chapter. All I can say is that you might be happy or you might be disappointed. But it's gonna be a doozy. I just can't wait for this season to come back. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me all your likes, dislikes in the comments down below about this half of the season. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm Michaela. I will see you later.